Imagine a world without telephones. Difficult, right? Before 1876, people relied on letters, telegrams, or face-to-face conversations. Communication was slow and often unreliable. Then came the telephone, a revolutionary invention that changed everything. Suddenly, people could hear each other's voices across vast distances. The impact was immediate and profound. Businesses could close deals faster, families could stay connected across continents, emergencies could be reported and responded to more effectively. The world was becoming smaller, connected by a network of sound. The genius behind this groundbreaking invention was none other than Alexander Graham Bell, a man whose name would become synonymous with communication. Born in Scotland in 1847, Bell grew up surrounded by the rich sounds of the Scottish countryside. His early years were filled with the melodies of nature and the bustling sounds of a 19th century town. His father, a professor of elocution, dedicated his life to the study of speech and its nuances. His mother, despite being deaf, was a talented pianist who communicated through the universal language of music. This unique upbringing instilled in young Alexander a deep fascination with sound. He was captivated by the idea of transmitting sound and was driven by a desire to help those who were hearing impaired. Bell's early work was dedicated to teaching deaf students. He developed innovative methods to help them communicate, which laid the foundation for his later experiments with sound transmission. He was driven by a profound belief in the power of technology to bridge gaps in human communication. His relentless curiosity and innovative spirit led him to explore the possibilities of transmitting sound over long distances. Little did he know that his relentless pursuit of this goal would lead to one of the most transformative inventions in history, the telephone. This invention not only revolutionized communication, but also laid the groundwork for the interconnected world we live in today. Bell's journey to inventing the telephone was not without its challenges. From the very beginning, he encountered numerous obstacles that tested his resolve and ingenuity. He faced fierce competition from other inventors, most notably Elisha Gray, who was working on a similar device. The rivalry between Bell and Gray was intense, as both were racing to bring their vision of voice communication to life. The race to the patent office was intense, with Bell ultimately securing the patent for the telephone on March 7, 1876. This victory was a pivotal moment, but it was just the beginning of a long journey. Beyond the patent battles, Bell and his team faced technical hurdles. The early prototypes were rudimentary and often failed to transmit clear sound over long distances. Early telephones were crude devices with limited range and clarity. They required constant tinkering and adjustments to improve their performance. But Bell was not deterred. He was driven by a relentless pursuit of innovation and a belief in the transformative power of his invention. He continued to refine his invention, driven by a vision of a world where distance was no longer a barrier to communication. Bell's perseverance and dedication laid the foundation for the modern telecommunications industry, changing the way people connect across the globe. Section 4. The photophone, a revolution in light. With the telephone firmly established, Bell could have easily rested on his laurels. The invention of the telephone was a monumental achievement that had already begun to transform communication across the globe. But his inventive spirit was far from satisfied. Bell was a visionary, always looking for the next frontier to conquer, the next problem to solve. He turned his attention to a new challenge: transmitting sound over beams of light. This was an ambitious endeavor, pushing the boundaries of what was thought possible at the time. This led to the invention of the photophone in 1880, just 4 years after the telephone. The photophone was a groundbreaking device that aimed to revolutionize communication once again. The photophone worked by converting sound waves into light signals. These light signals could then be transmitted over distances without the need for wires. These signals were then transmitted through the air to a receiver, which converted them back into audible sound. This process was a marvel of early technology, showcasing Bell's ingenuity. It was a revolutionary concept, essentially wireless communication using light, years before the advent of radio. The photophone laid the groundwork for future innovations in optical communication. influencing technologies that we rely on today. Section 5. The power of light and sound. The photophone was a technological marvel, demonstrating the potential of light as a medium for communication. Although not commercially viable at the time due to its reliance on sunlight and clear weather, it laid the groundwork for future inventions that would shape the world. Think about it. Fiber optic communication, the backbone of today's internet and telecommunications networks, is based on the principles first demonstrated by Bell's photophone. Light, once used for simple illumination, had become a powerful carrier of information. Section 6. Bell's enduring legacy. Alexander Graham. Bell's legacy extends far beyond the telephone. He was a prolific inventor, holding patents for numerous other devices, including the metal detector and early versions of the gramophone. His contributions to science and technology earned him widespread recognition and accolades. But perhaps his greatest legacy lies in his unwavering belief in the power of innovation to improve the human condition. He saw technology not as an end in itself, but as a tool to connect people, share knowledge, and build a better future. Section 7. Shaping the future of communication. Today, we live in a world unimaginable without Bell's inventions. The telephone, in its various evolved forms, is an indispensable part of our lives. And the principles behind the photophone have paved the way for the high-speed, interconnected world we live in. As we look to the future, Bell's legacy continues to inspire. New technologies are emerging, pushing the boundaries of communication even further.